All right, you're welcome to today's session. Hi everyone, You're welcome to today's session. As usual, just type where you are joining from. I can see some persons on the call already. So type where you are joining from. You are welcome. We are advancing today. It's going to be an amazing time in the 2 weeks training, right? So type where you are joining from as usual while I others to join. Type where you are joining from. Type where you are joining from. Type where you are joining from. All right, I can see Kazim from Lagos, Muhammad from Kano State, Victory from Lagos. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, without further ado, today is going to be practical, right? So I don't want to spend so much time. I want to stay within the confines of 1 hour, right? I'll just start, right? I'm going to start. So today we'll be doing practicals. It's going to be practicals, right? Where I'll be introducing you to the software I use to do my designs. I'll be introducing to the software. If you are just joining the class, type where you are joining from. Type where you are joining from. Cornelius from Gombe. Amazing, amazing. Cornelius from Gombe. Type where you are joining from. Register your presence. Type where you are joining from. Like as I was saying, it's gonna be practical. It's gonna be practical, right? Today I'll be introducing to the tool I make use of. Give me a second. Let me get water to drink. All right. So if you got value from yesterday's class, I want you to type it. You got value, you learned something new. We're taking a step further today because yesterday was introduction. Today I'll be introducing you to the tools. Let me show you something before I even continue. Remember, I told you guys I've been working for a while. So let me just show you something that could stir you up to take these 2 weeks seriously. So this is my earning from, not all the money is there, sha, but can you see the date? This is January 2025 to April 20, that's when April 18th. So you can see the amount. Can you see this amount? You can see the amount, right? That's about 4,200 and something withdrawn already, not what has entered, what has been withdrawn. You understand? I have to cut out that part, but let somebody do the maths. Type that amount by dollar is currently 1,550. Type it 4,200 by 1,000. I'm showing you this so that you will know the magnitude of what we're getting in, because we'll be going into practicals right now. We'll be going into practicals right now, and I'll be giving you guys assignment, right? Tech is simply you do the work and you get paid. You do the work and you get paid. So your attitude towards the assignment I'll be giving you guys in course of these 2 weeks matter a lot, right? Because it's going to be with little supervision, right? But you will have to take full responsibility. Somebody should do this math, and type the value there. So that's not what I want to do today. I want to teach you Figma, right? I want to teach you Figma, but I'm just showing you the possibilities in this space. What I just displayed there is what I've earned from January till April, right? From January to April. So let's get right into what we're for today. So Figma is the software tool we use for our designs. Figma is the software tool we use for our design. And as I'll be introducing you to this tool, I will give you tasks to do, right? We are going to get our hands dirty. But one thing I'll do to make the class interesting is that I'm going to give you something that you are familiar with, right? We'll be designing an application, but it's going to be an application you are familiar with. It's going to be an application you are familiar with. So to keep up the excitement, let's just continue. I'll take out my face for now. So let's get into our class for today. So if you have your Figma already, can you just type, I have my Figma? If you have your Figma already, we need Figma software. I'll show you how to launch it. But if you have your Figma already, type, I have my Figma. I have Figma. I have Figma. Type, I have Figma. What you are seeing on my screen now, I've already launched, but I'm going to relaunch it so that you know how to go about it. If you have Figma already, type, I have Figma. All right, I can see all of you are ready. So let me just share my entire screen so that you can see how to launch Figma. For those of you that don't know, so I'll stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. So I'll just share my entire screen and yeah, we get going. See, let me tell you something. UI design is very lucrative. It's very lucrative. So don't play. Don't play. Take this thing we are doing seriously, and yeah, you'll be happy with yourself in the long run. So I'll just share my entire screen right now, and we'll get going. So this is how to launch your Figma. You go to your web browser and type figma.com. You press enter. So when you press enter, there's a lot to learn from here, but I'm just going to teach you what you need to do your design, right? So you are going to see your recent project. For those of you that are just starting out for the first time, you won't see anything here, right? You will see your name, whatever name you put in here. If you click here, you see your email, right? But that's not what I'm teaching. I want to teach you how to launch. So look for where you can find this design. For some persons, you might find it at the top right, but for some persons, if your interface is like this, you find it this way, right? All you need to do is just click on the design and you will launch your Figma. Click on the design and you will launch. So this is what the interface looks like, right? So for me, I've divided the interface into 4 parts. This part over here, this other part, the toolbox, which is this one down here, and the Canva. I'm going to explain all of this in today's class. Then we'll start our project, right? I'll explain all of this. Then we'll start our project. So let me just come back and let me share my Figma. So I've shown you how to launch your Figma. Go to your web browser, maybe Chrome, type figma.com, right? And you see your Figma just the way it's showing like this. Just the way it's showing like this. Yeah. Let me go back again. You see it like this. Then look for this design button. Look for the design button. Click on it. It's going to launch. So let's now get into our study for today. Let's move very fast. I don't want to exceed I don't want to exceed 1 hour in today's class. So please, whatever it will cost you, take your assignment seriously. Take it seriously, because that's what brings in the Benjamin. The Benjamin is the dollars, right? So it's your assignment. How you take your training seriously will determine the progress you are going to make in this part, right? So I want you to take your assignment seriously. I'm trying to share my screen. Present, share screen. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. So let's get going. If you can, okay, you can see my screen. Amazing. So Figma is divided into 4 parts. Figma is divided into 4 parts. Figma is divided into 4 parts. And I have to take a screenshot so that I can explain it to you. So this first part that is highlighted with pink, you can see this pink highlight. That's this part you are seeing here, right? The next part is this other part. with the blue highlight. I'm going to explain them one after the other, right? Then we have the third part, which is the one with the orange or yellow highlights, toolbox, right? And we have the fifth part, your design canvas. So the first part is your layer panel. Your layer panel. Your layer panel gives you some functionalities, right? Some of the functionalities you get from the layer panel is the ability, look at me now on my main screen, is the ability to name your file. Let me, if I click on this and I probably copy it, I'll copy it so I don't lose that name. Sometimes when you launch your Figma, not sometimes, every time, you see it as untitled. UNTITLE, the untitled file, right? Untitled. So your layer panel will help you rename your design. You can rename your design using your layer panel. You can rename your design using your layer panel. So if I come back and I double click, I can paste that name, which is the 2 weeks free training, right? Then another thing you can get from the layer panel, you can see title. You can create pages. Right now I have like 3 pages here. You can, if I click on plus, I will have the 4th page, right? So but let's stay on page 1. So you can create multiple pages. One design file can house more than 10 designs. If you are using the Figma Pro, for those of you that are using the free version, when you start Figma, they give you access to the free version, right, until you subscribe. But the free version can help you do a lot. I was using the free version for a very long time until I moved to Pro, right? But if you are using Pro, you can create up to 10 pages and more. If you are using the free version, I think you can create like 3 pages max or maybe 4, right? So you can create pages, then you find layers. Layers gives you anything I draw on my design canvas. Take for instance, if I draw a shape like this now, if I draw this box, you will see it on my layer. Once I click on, can you see rectangle? So everything you have on your design canvas, you'll find it on your layer. So it's easy to look for any element you've added to your design canvas, right? So the layer tool basically helps you. There are a lot of other things you can do, but for the sake of this class, I think I'll expose you to these 3. So you can name your file, you can create pages, you can check out what you have in your design canvas, right? Let me take this out. If I delete it now, you won't see that rectangle there again. So this part is called the layout. If you are following, type layer panel. If you are following, type layer panel. Someone say my screen is blank. Is it blank? Is my screen blank? Okay, you are following, right? Is my screen blank? Okay. I want to believe it's your network. All right, it's not blank. Amazing. Let's continue. So the layer panel helps you to name your file, create pages, and it gives you the ability to view whatever you have on your design canvas, right? Then the next thing I want you to know about is the toolbox. The toolbox. I call this toolbox because when it comes to designing, you need different tools to manipulate your designs, right? You need different tools to manipulate your design. So the toolbox has a number of tools that is very useful when it comes to designing. Professional designers make use of this toolbox you are seeing. So it's not like if you are using Pro, your own toolbox is different. Everybody, both people using Pro, people working in Google, people working in Amazon, people working with Apple, people working with millions of companies, they make use of the same toolbox, right? The same toolbox has been made available to everybody. So I will walk you through the toolbox one after the other, right? Then we'll now get to our control panel. So for the toolbox gives you access to different tools. We have the move tool. As the name implies, the move tool helps you to move elements, you understand, or items around your Figma canvas. This empty space is the fourth we'll be talking about, is your design canvas. So if I draw another rectangle like that, so it's automatically set to move. If I click outside, I can select it, click and move it to any position I want. So your move tool helps you to move items around your Figma canvas, like to any position of your choice. Let me draw another shape. I've been drawing rectangle. If you click on this drop down here, you can see other shape. I select ellipse and I hold shift and drag like that, click and drag. So I can move my ellipse this way, I can move it this way. So this is how you, all these mobile apps, let me even say this, Figma is the top, is a top rated UI design tool. There are different tools. We have Sketch, we have Adobe XD, we have a lot of them, but Figma is what 80% of professionals make use of for their website and mobile app design. So this design you are seeing here currently, let me even select one element and duplicate it. To duplicate, you use alternate. If I hold alternate on my keyboard and drag this out, notice that I'm using my move tool. You can see I've moved that element and let me fill it so you see it properly. So you can see on the way, man, and blah, blah, blah. So if I just click on the move tool, I can move this thing to wherever I want, right? So all these things you are seeing here, you need the move tool to position your elements, right? We'll do design today, don't worry. But let's continue. So the move tool is the first tool on your toolbox, right? It helps you move element, design element from one position to another. When you look closely, you are going to see this drop down. That's it here. So if I click on it, I can see more tools. We have two other tools aside the move tool. We have the hand tool. If I click on the hand tool, you see this hand sign. So if I click, I can just, it's like panning, right? I can just click and drag. I'm holding my click button, then I'll use my mouse trackpad to drag. That's what the hand tool does. Somebody might be asking, how do I zoom out and zoom in? Let me quickly demonstrate that to you. So to zoom out and zoom in, if this is your mouse trackpad, if you do like this, or like, or your not external mouse, your mouse trackpad, your laptop mouse, if you keep your two fingers and do like this and like that, let me even do it while I'm talking. So if you do it like this, I'm doing it right now so you can see me. So if I do, let me do it from the hand. If I set it to move and I do like this, you see the way it's moving up and down. I'm zooming out and zooming in by simply doing like this, like this. You understand? My mouse trackpad. If you are using what's it called? If you are using external mouse, you use your scroll button on the external mouse, or they call it scroll knob. That thing that is robo. There's one what's it called? There's one let me not be sarcastic anyway. Wow. There's one oh my god. Skit I watched. The Hausa man was doing Indomie robo. So your scroll button, right? You scroll it up and down, you can zoom out and zoom in. That's how it works. So let's continue. So for your move tool helps you to move items, elements from one point to another. So when you click on the drop down, you find your scale tool. Your scale tool helps you to, I've set it to scale. Let me tell you something before I get to the control panel. Your control panel is this one on the right part, this guy. You can see it. You can see my name, P, design prototype, and all of that. So I need you to know that your control panel works with whatever tool you are selecting. Now I'm selecting the scale tool. You can see my control panel is showing scale. If I leave the scale tool, now let's say I close it, it has gone back to move. You see that it has changed. If I select a frame, you see that it has changed. So your control panel works with whatever you are selecting. If I select an ellipse, it's going to change to ellipse feature. So the control panel basically helps you to edit or manipulate whatever tool you are selecting. right? It works with the tool for the manipulation of your design, right? So the scale tool helps you. Let me go back to scale. If I click on scale, the short key is K. For move, the short key is V. For hand is H. So if I click on K or I go to scale, I can increase this. If I just drag it, all sides will increase together proportionally, right? Let me leave scale and show you the difference. If I go back to normal mode by pressing V, if I drag this now, see what will happen. See that the rectangle is scattering. I've distorted the size, right? But if it was on scale mode, everything will move together. But that's the function of scale, right? Then that's for move. The next tool on our toolbox is frame. So the frame helps you select the size you want to design on, right? We design with sizes. So if you want to design a mobile phone, with your frame tool, you can select a mobile screen. If you want to design desktop, with your frame tool, you can select desktop. Now I've selected frame. See that my control panel has changed. So if I click on this drop down, you can see phone, tablet, desktop, presentation, Apple Watch. If you want to design for smartwatch, this is how you do it. If you want to design for social media, but basically we do website and mobile. So I'll just tell my phone. If I click on phone, there are different sizes of phone. I like using iPhone 13 and 14. You can see iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 and 15 Pro, depending on the size of your phone, but I always use iPhone 13 and 14. So if I click on it, I've just done that. You will see the frame, right? Let me even show you something before we continue. So you can see this WhatsApp screen I have here. I designed this myself, right? So this is my WhatsApp screen. You can see that it's on a frame, right? So you design inside your frame. So we don't just only have phone. If I go to frame again, I can select tablet. If I click on this tablet, I open it like that. I can choose iPad 14. You can see the size. Remember, tablet is bigger than phone. Then if I click on frame again and I select desktop, I can select any of these size, but we'll use the default mode, which is desktop. That's for website. So this is how you do your design. Basically, this is how you do your design, by selecting your frame size, right? So you design inside frame. You don't design on your empty Canva. I wish I could show you. Let me see if I can. Of course I can. Let me quickly show you a design. So if I go to this, all these are different tabs I've opened. I'm using Figma on desktop. So this is what a website looks like. So I'm designing a website in this case. So you can see that I'm using different number of frames to do my design. This is company work. I'm not supposed to show you, but you can see it. So these are different design. And when you design, at the end of the day, you'd have designed maybe like 50, 100 screens. Each page will lead to the next page. You understand? So let's go back to class. So your frame, if you are designed for a website, you use desktop. If you are designed for iPad, you use your tablet, you use iPad. If you are designed for mobile phone, use your mobile phone frame, right? That's what the frame does. The next tool on our shape tool is on our toolbox, rather, is our shape tool. What we have currently on this screenshot is our arrow. When we click on the drop down, you find more. So I've just clicked. You can see rectangle, you can see line, you can see the arrow, you can see ellipse, you can see polygon, you can see star. So if I select rectangle, I'll just click and drag like that. If you want it to be a perfect square, you hold shift on your keyboard while clicking. So I've just held shift while clicking. It has changed to a perfect square. I will draw another one that will be a rectangle. You can just do it how you want. So if I want to draw an ellipse, I'll select this drop down, go to ellipse, click, hold shift to get perfect, drag like that. If I want to draw a line, I'll click on the line, click and drag like that. The line is it white or black? Okay, it's white. If I want arrow, whatever you want, you can just click and drag it like that, and you have what you want. You can see my arrow over there. If I click again and I want polygon, a triangle, some of you will be asking, do we really need all these things for website design? Don't, when we start designing, you will find out that you need some of these tools. Very, very important. You need some of these tools. Okay, somebody is asking for slides. You don't need slides now. You don't need slides. You don't need section for now. I'm teaching you what you need for these 2 weeks because we'll be doing practicals, right? Let's not go too broad, and I'm trying to work with time. So you don't need slides and section. Work with frame for now. Okay, let me show you what section looks like. But I'm not going to show you how to do it anyways. So you can see this, all of this design, they are inside a section. I named it vendor dashboard. This one is super admin. So section is used for sectioning your design. This is like company dashboard, right? So section is used for sectioning your design. We're going to talk about all that much later, but for these first 2 weeks, let's just stay within the confines of what we need for the training. So that's for this. For those of you that know how to read, like you finish your WhatsApp call, they'll ask you to rate them. This is how they get those ratings, by just drawing star. To duplicate an item, you press alternate on your keyboard, you click and drag. I've just duplicated that. I'm doing it again. Alternate on your keyboard, you click and drag. So when they say rate us, this is how they get those things on the interface, right? Remember, UI design is the user interface, what you see with your eyes. You understand? Why UX is the user experience, how you experience it. So we'll be building UI in course of these 2 weeks. We'll be designing. So just take note of where to get all of these elements, right? So that's for star. Okay, I need to mention this. So whatever you select, if I select this polygon, you will see the control panel is going to respond to that. So this has 3 sides right now. See where my mouse is hovering. If I click on it and I type 5, see what's going to happen. To change the number of sides. So you can edit this. If I click on star, star has 5 sides. I can make it 6. So you can change it based on what you want. Like I said, the control panel works with respect to whatever you are selecting or whatever tool. Let's give it at 5. Right? Ellipse is normal. Okay, let's go to the next two. The next two is your creation. If I hover around it, you can call it pen tool. If I click on the pen tool, it helps you draw line, but this time around you can draw continuous line. Unlike the normal line that you just click and drag. For pen tool, you just place it, you click on one point, move it. You are not clicking it, you just move your mouse. Get to the next one, you click again, move it up. Get to the next one, you click again, move it like that. You understand? You click again, you can bring it down. Let me draw maybe a motor car. You do something like this. So the pen tool helps you to draw a continuous line. So when you are done, all you need to do is to double click. Bam, bam, I'm done. You understand? So then you can just select the move tool and you check out what you've done. It's currently set to black. White color is F into 6 places. If I press enter, it will change to white like that. Then you can increase the thickness for line. This one, I can change it to 4. So the thickness, your line tool helps you to draw lines on your Figma, right? That's how it works. It helps you to draw lines. It helps you to draw lines. So let's continue. Which other tool? We have our text tool. Obviously, our UI must have text. You can see this one way manual hatchback starts in customer name. All these texts, right? I'm going to show you how to do them. So we have our text tool. If I click on text tool, I can come here and type my name, Prince. If I zoom out, remember I said the control panel works with respect to whatever you're selecting. So now that I'm on the text tool, look at what we have on the control panel now. We have, let me even do something side by side. I should increase this for now. Let me keep it at 32. So if I bring this ellipse down here, Um, so look at the control panel now. You see that it's showing me the fill color for the ellipse. If I click on this fill color, I can change the color to whatever I want. You understand? You can change it to whatever you want. That's for the but there is no typography and all of that, right? But if I click on my name now, you see that the control panel has changed. You can now see the font style. You can change it if you want. You see the font size. You can change it to whatever you want, right? And a whole lot of things. You can also see color for this. Let me give it blue. You can see that, right? So the control panel changes to with respect to whatever you are selecting. So that's for the control panel. Next thing I want us to do is this comment section. When you are collaborating with your colleagues, right? Figma is a collaborative tool. You can collaborate with your colleagues. You can collaborate. So you leave a comment on your design canvas. If I click on comment, when I give us assignment, right, I'm going to vet your assignment. And the way you know that I've vetted your assignment is I'm going to leave a comment. I can say something like, okay, if I've selected the comment now, just drop it like that. If I click, it's going to bring add comment. I can say, let me check somebody's name. Oh, like, okay, let me use Mohammed. I'll say something like, Mohammed, good job, Mohammed. Good job. Enter. So when Mohammed checks his work, he's going to see my name like this, and he can. So comment is for communication, right? For collaboration. I'm not going to open down my design file again. If not, you'd have seen a lot of my collaboration with my other teammates, right? So comment is for collaboration. Next thing I need us to know right now is, okay, we've talked about the tools. Next thing is the layout, sorry, the control panel. Control panel is divided into, like I say, it works with wherever you're selecting. So what we have here currently is the default mode. So if I click outside, no, it's not the default mode. I'm currently selecting my text. So if I select a text, that's how I have that. So it's divided into position. It's divided into design and prototype, right? Design and prototype. Design and prototype. Then it's also has text, position, a whole lot. I don't want this class to be complex, so I'll only be showing you the things we need, right? As we design along, you are going to see what we're doing, right? There's typography, a whole lot of stuff, but don't get confused. Somebody mentioned light mode. I'm using dark mode because of my team. So if I click on this file, see where I just clicked, the Figma icon, you can come over here and change from, see my theme here, light and dark mode. So if I set it to light mode now, it's going to change, but I don't like light mode. I'm going to leave it at dark mode. I saw light mode on the comment section. So let's give it at dark mode. I love dark mode, right? So we've talked about, what's it called? The tools, the layer panel. Take note that everything I've drawn here, look at them here, look at prints I wrote. That's how the layer work. Look at the star I drew, star 4, star 3, star 2, star 1. Look at the polygon I drew. Look at the arrow, look at the line. Everything I've done here, you will find it on the layer. So the layer is just showing you all we have on the design canvas, right? So finally, the design canvas is your empty space that you use for your design. Let me even show you something. So imagine that I have my mobile screen now. If I bring it up, so even if the app I'm designing has 200 screen, this design canvas can carry it. I'll just duplicate with alternate. So if I keep duplicating like that, I will fill up this design canvas with my design, and there will be enough space, right? So the design canvas is the space you use for your design, is the space, you understand, you use for your design. So take note of that. Figma is divided into 4 parts. We have the layer panel, which is the left side of your screen. We have your toolbox, which is below the screen. We have the control panel, and I said control panel works with respect to whatever you are selecting. Then finally, we have the design canvas. Next thing I want us to do as we make progress is I want to teach you about how we get designs done. So this is how it works. We have elements and components. You understand? Elements and components. When I finish explaining this part, we'll get into practical. So elements of designs are the items that make up your design. Elements are the items you put together to make up your designs. So some of those items, we have text, we have shape, we have image, we have icon, we have color, we have pattern. These are some of the basic design elements that we have. So let's now do a quick classwork. You are not designing yet, don't worry. So looking at what I've just said, I said elements are the items that make up your design. So this is my chat screen, my WhatsApp chat screen, right? This is my WhatsApp chat screen. So can you type on the chat section some of the elements you can see on this screen? I've mentioned that elements will have a text, shape, image, icon, color. So everybody should participate. Type the element you can see on this WhatsApp screen. Type the element you can see. Let's do that in 2 minutes. Then we'll get into practicals. Type the element. I want everyone to participate. I'm not seeing anybody's comment yet. Mention, okay, somebody just mentioned text. Mention any element you can find on that screen. Image and text, marvelous, that's amazing. Somebody say menu bar. Menu bar is not an element. Menu bar is a component. We'll get to components. I've just given you 6 different kinds of elements. I mentioned text, shape, image, icon, color, pattern. So any image, any element you can see, type it. Circle is a shape. Amazing. I can see image, I can see text, I can see icon. Yes, icon. This the chat icon and other icons you see there. Yeah, text. It means you guys are following. It means you are following. Somebody mentioned rectangle. Yes, rectangle is a shape. Amazing. Let's continue. So now that we know what elements are, nobody mentioned color. Can't you see the WhatsApp green color? Can't you see the blue color here? This blue tick is an icon. This archived is an icon. This button has a rectangle shape. You can see the camera icon. You can see the battery icon. You can see the text. So all these elements is what make up our design. You can see the image, right? So now that we've known what elements are, let's now quickly get to components. Somebody mentioned navigation bar. So navigation bar is not an element. I will explain it to you. So wise elements are the items that make up your design. Components is a combination of 2 or more design elements. Component is a combination of 2 or more design elements. So just like for those persons that probably, let me show my face right now. Can't see something that is real. So for those of us that did science in school, I was a science student. When you are doing physics and biology, no, not physics, chemistry and biology, when we're talking about elements, compound, mixture, and all of that. So we realized that we're taught that compound is a combination of 2 or more elements, right? So when we see H2O, which is water, H2O, which is water, is a compound, right? So on Figma, component is like compound. You understand? is a combination of two or more design elements. Component is like compound. So when you put a text and a shape together, you've just formed a component, right? Let me show you now. So some of the components we have button. Button is a shape and a text put together. Look at the example of our button here. You can see this button. You can see the all text and the rectangle shape with curved corner radius. You can see if I click on this, I've just clicked on this. You can see this blue outline is a component. It has the image, it has the text, it has icon put together. The person that mentioned navbar, navbar has text, icon, and multiple text and icon put together. So when you put more than one, when you combine two or more design elements, you will form a component. Some of the components we have are buttons, card, lists, navigation bar, text field, search bar. Somebody mentioned search bar. So when you click on this search bar, normally it's also take you where you type in something. You can search for whatever you are typing on that input. So that's how it works. So as we go into practical right now, we are going to touch a few things. This WhatsApp screen, I designed it by myself, but I don't want us to design WhatsApp screen in this class. Nonetheless, we are going to be working on something that is familiar to us. You understand? When you are doing design and you are designing things that you work with almost every day, right? It will make sense to you that this thing we are doing like this, people designed it, right? So I want you guys to also design something you are familiar with, right? We would have done WhatsApp, but maybe some other time we can come together again and do WhatsApp. But for today's class, what I want us to do is, how many of you have Google? If you have Google, not Chrome, almost every phone, especially Android phone, has Google. We have Chrome and Google. Chrome browser is different from, if you have Google on your phone, we'll be designing Google interface. That's going to be our practical for this class. Somebody is asking if I record the class. Of course I do. We're streaming to YouTube. So at the end of this section, you can access the video again. Especially for this one that we're doing practical, you need to access the video to do your own task, because you watch me design and you do yours, right? So if you have Google, type I have Google. I think I should get my phone, so I'll show you what the Google this thing looks like. Someone is saying not everyone has Google. No, you will find your way. I'll show you what to do. Okay, so let me show you what Google looks like. Hold on. So this is Google. This is Chrome. Where is Chrome, self? Chrome is not here. This is Google. So if you have this app, this is what we are designing, right? This Google app. When I click on it, you will see what the interface looks like. So we'll be designing Google. In course of this class, we'll be designing Google. So I've already taken a screenshot of my Google screen. I've taken a screenshot of my Google screen. All I need you to do is take a screenshot of your Google screen when you want to start your design, right? So connect your laptop connect your WhatsApp to your laptop. For those of you that have laptop, connect your WhatsApp to your laptop. Then take a screenshot, send it to somebody that is close to you. Then go on your laptop, right? On your WhatsApp in your laptop, right? Then Let me just show you. I think my WhatsApp is open. Oh God. Let me see if I have something like that. Let me see. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Let me just quickly scroll there. I'm just showing you guys a lot of private stuff. I shouldn't be doing this. All right, amazing, amazing. So look at it now. Let me share my screen so that you see what I'm trying to talk about. So I'll share my entire screen right now. So this is my WhatsApp, right? So once you've connected your WhatsApp to your laptop, I use my WhatsApp on my laptop most of the time, right? So just send somebody this image, the screenshot you've taken with your phone. Look at my own. If I click on it now, I can just right click, copy it, go to my Figma and paste it here. If I right click on paste here, you have that image, right? So that's how it works. You can see it, right? So take a screenshot of your Google interface, this home page. Then when you click on image search, it brings you to this second page, right? When we are done designing, we are going to prototype it and test it on our phone. So when you do that, send yourself on WhatsApp, right? And send yourself on WhatsApp and collect it from your laptop. It works like that seamlessly. It works like that seamlessly. So let's continue our class. All right, so this is what we'll be working on. Like I said, I want us to do something that is familiar to us so that when you are done designing, you'll be proud of yourself that I could do Google interface. Or I could do whatever we're doing Google interface, right? So before we start designing, I want us to do that exercise we did on the WhatsApp screen, right? Mention, now you know what components are. I mentioned that components is a combination of two or more elements. And some of the examples I gave were search bar. Let me bring this close. So you can see this search bar here. So this thing you are seeing like this is a component. I mentioned button. You understand? So can you just tell me some of the components you are seeing here as we get started? Some of the components. Don't worry, Mohammed, text me after the class. I'm going to send you a screenshot you work with. Text me after the class. I will send you a screenshot. You understand? So just mention the component you can see. We're wrapping up already. We want to start our first practical project right now. Somebody mentioned color. Amazing. Button. Saliu mentioned button. Amazing. What else can you see? What else can you see? Remember, component is a search bar. Component is a combination of two or more elements. Elements are the items we use to do our designs. We have text and all of that, but component is a combination. Let's get started. Image icon, yes, image, that image button is a component. Yes, you are there, you are there. Let's continue now. So this will be designing. When we are done, the reason why we are doing this is it will take like 3 days to design or 2 days. Today is as day 2, right? Okay, we'll use our next class and the other class to design and prototype, right? Then the last day we'll talk about how to get jobs. That one is very important. So while we are designing two screens so that we can click a button that will take us to another screen. That's how we're doing more than one screen, right? Then we also make this screen interactive. I'll teach you how to do all of that. Some of you that have Google, when you scroll, you notice this is scrolling, right? Okay, so let's get started. So for today's class, because of time, we'll just work on the navigation bar. We'll work on the navigation bar. Notice my phone nav bar. This minimize the circle and the back. it's here, but it's not all that clear. So we'll give a space for that. So let's get started. What do I do first if I want to design? I'll go to my frame, go to phone, select iPhone 13 and 14, and I have it there. You even know that they are almost the same size, right? In case yours is not the same size, just like this new image I brought in, if when you paste your image to your design Canva, it's bigger than your frame, don't just start designing like that. This is what you should do. Come to your scale tool and select scale, then drag it. Once it's on scale mode, drag it from the edge and fit it together. You can see that they are now the same size. Ensure you put it on scale mode, because if you don't put it on scale mode, it's going to distort. Remember I said the scale mode help you to increase and reduce all sides of your element proportional, that's together, right? I can cancel this to remove, leave scale mode. So I'll design the first screen. How am I going to do that? I've gotten my frame, right? Next thing I'm going to do, there's something called layout grid. I'll select my frame. Before I teach you layout, let me show you something. Look at this. For any phone or any app you're operating on your phone, you'll notice that the elements on your frame doesn't get to the edge. The elements on your frame does not get to the edge. It doesn't get to the edge. I'll show you how to. If you look at this as I'm scrolling up, see that everything is aligned. It doesn't get to the, if you come to this other side, except there's an overflow, we'll call it carousel. That's when you can see something getting there. And this thing means you can swipe it. We'll make the, don't, when we're done designing, we prototype this to be functional. You will test it with your phone. You understand? So to achieve this space between the element and the edge of the screen, we make use of something called layout grid. How do I get my layout grid? I'll click on my frame like I've just done, come over to my control panel. We have fill color, we have stroke, we have effect. This is layout grid. Once I click on this plus button, I've applied the grid. You can see these boxes, right? But I don't want grid boxes. First thing I'll do, I'll change it from 10 to 8. I like working with, we have two kinds of layout grid system, 10 point and 8 point or pixel. I like using 8 pixel because most of the measurement I make use of in my design are in the multiples of 8. Don't allow that bother you. Just follow me. Put it, once you click on plus, you see the boxes. I see the size. I moved it from 10 to 8. Once I've done that, next thing I'm going to do, I'll click on this grid and change it to column. Column. Once I do that, you see that's changed from grid to column, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. What I need is for the standard size of or number of columns you should work with for mobile is 4. As the screen gets larger, it's going to increase. But since it's mobile, I'll set it to 4. I press 4, I'll press, then I'll come to this margin. This spacing we have here is called the margin. So I'll come to the margin and set it to 16. I've pressed 16, press enter on my keyboard. So we have that spacing right now. So when it comes to designing, everything you see on any interface is being laid, right? So we call it layout. Just like this Google, they lay it on this position. The search bar, they lay it under. Everything you see here is being laid, is being laid. So the reason for the layout grid is to map out the areas, the area rather, where you want to lay your elements, right? So first thing I want us to design right now for the sake of this class is our navigation bar. We'll use the next 10 minutes to design that, and we'll call the class a wrap for today. Then I'll give you assignments to go and do your, so this is the time for you to pay rapt attention to what I'm about to do. This is how I do my design. Once I've added my layout grid, the next thing I want to do is I'll just duplicate this guy with alternate. Why am I duplicating it? So that when I design on this screen, I won't have to put in a new frame, you understand, to design my second screen. You understand? I can put in a new frame if I want, but I'm trying to save myself the stress of putting the layout grid again. So as I've applied it to one of the frames, just duplicate it and keep it aside. You understand? So let's now move to our design. Like I said, my navigation bar for my phone is here. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to my shape tool, select rectangle, just do it exactly how I'm doing it. I'll click inside the frame and drag it like this. I'm laying out my elements now. Once I do that, you come over to the control panel and see the height. The height is 41, the width is 390. So I'll set it to 40, even number. Remember I said the my dimensions are in the multiples of 8. 8 times 5 is 40. You understand? It doesn't work like that all the time, but many times I just do it like that, right? Next thing is I will duplicate this rectangle with alternate. I'll drag it up. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to map out the area where I will lay my element. So I will increase the height of this one maybe to 80 or probably 70. Sometimes you might want to just bring this out like that, and just I try my best to make my design accurate. If I'm replicating something, right, I try my best to do that. So I think 69 is what we have. I'll just wrap it up to 70. Remember I said the 8, the multiples of 8 doesn't work every time, so but I use even numbers. So I'm going to change this color so that it's going to be a bit different from this, because they are serving different purpose, right? I'll come over to my fill color, then just maybe reduce, increase the darkness, so I have that difference. I can close this by clicking on it. If you are following, type I'm following. If you are following, type I'm following. If you are following, type I'm following. For some of you that came late, right, 4,000. If you are following, type and follow. Let's get those that are following. If you okay, amazing, amazing. So let me mention this. This is what I do full time, right? This is what I do full time, and I get paid doing this. This is what I do full time. So I need you to pay attention, right? I need you. Let me show. Some of you came late. Let me show you something. I know a good number of you came late, but let me just to motivate you a bit, because when it comes to tech, tech is not a joke, right? So you can, this is from January to April. Can you see this amount over here? See this amount, this is 4,000, right? If you multiply this by 1,550, that's about 6.5 from January to April. From Jan. So is what I do to earn this amount. I'm trying to teach you. So pay attention. You understand what I'm saying? Pay attention. Pay attention to what we're doing. Pay attention to what we're doing. If you are stuck, you can call me back and ask questions. Drop your chat. So let's continue. So I've mapped out the area for my phone navigation bar. This second part is for my Google navigation bar. So how do I get started? I'll right click, go to plugin. Plugin is gives you what's it called? You can get a lot of stuff for your design from plugin, right? It's like an extra asset. You know, it's an asset, right? If you want icons, you can get it through plugin. So when you click on plugin, you click on manage plugin. You click on You come here and search for Iconify. I think that even Figma is built with different components. So you can see the search bar on Figma. So somebody designed Figma, interestingly, you understand? So I'll search for Iconify. Iconify is the plugin I use to get my icons. There are other paid icon pack and tools, but I use Iconify most of the time. So we have our home icon. I'll come over here and search for home, Home. Notice that the home is a filled color. We have two types of icon, filled icon and outline icon. So filled icon, look at this home now. We have the outline home icon and filled home. So this current home I'm trying to design for is filled. So I'll collect the filled home. I'll click on this and drag it out. I'll look for my next icon. I'll come over here, search for search, Search. Don't just collect random icon. I want you to have that spirit of excellence, have that touch of excellence. So take icons that is close to what you are trying to design, right? So I think this first one is not close. The second one is better, so I'll take the second one, drag it like that. Also take note that when you collect icon from this Iconify icon pack, if you come to your while it's selected, if you come to your control panel, you notice that the width and the height is 24 by 24. That's this frame you are seeing here. The icon comes inside a frame. If I click on the icon now, I've entered inside the frame, right? If I zoom out, this is the main frame, this is the icon inside the frame. So this main frame comes in 24 by 24. Leave it like that, don't scatter it, except you need to, right? Let's get our next icon saved. The name of this icon in real life is bookmark, not saved. So I'll type Bookmark, bookmark. You can see it, right? So you see that we have the field, the outline, but none of these look like what I want to get. Don't just take anyone. Take your time, find something that is close. So I'll just keep scrolling patiently until I find something that looks like what you can see this one, but it's not exactly. Let's keep going. We'll definitely find something. All right. So this looks like it, but the edges are sharp. This guy, the edge is not sharp. I'm already close. I believe I'm close. If I can see that one, it means I'm almost all right. Perfect. So we've seen something that look like what we are looking for. All right, something like this works perfectly. The edges are not sharp. So this is how I take my time to do designs. I don't rush. Next is notification. I'll type Notification, press enter. Look at the kind of notification we're looking for. Just keep scrolling. Design is amazing. Design is amazing. This is how people take their time and they build the WhatsApp you are using today. They build the ChatGPT. Whatever application you are making is people take their time to design it and they reward them handsomely for doing that. I'll take this one. This looks like what I'm trying to get. So I've gotten all my icons from Iconify. Next thing I want to do is my text. Be careful when you are moving. Remember, I said the move tool will help you move elements from one position to another. But when you are moving this icon, be careful so you don't take it out of the frame, just like I've done. I'll press Ctrl Z to undo that, right? Ensure you are selecting the frame. So next thing I'll do is my text. I'll come over to my text tool and type home, Home. Okay, let me say this. Your text is going to take the last format, right? So because I changed my text when I was explaining how to use the text tool earlier, it's giving me this Irish Grove. I'll just click on it. I like using Inter. This is Inter. Inter is the default text. So yours may even come as Inter, right? I'll duplicate this with alternate. Press alternate on your keyboard, click and drag. Search, click outside, press alternate, click and drag. saved, saved. I'll duplicate this again with alternate, click and drag. Then I'll type notification, NOTIFICATIONS. All right. So another thing I'll be teaching us right now is one of the tools, fill tool. This fill tool, right? So if I select this home frame, notice that the color is blue, right? See what I'm going to do. I'll go to it's in selection color black. I'll click on it, use my eyedropper tool, then I'll select this blue. So the eyedropper tool helps you to pick colors. So if I click on it, I've gotten the Google blue. I've gotten the Google blue. So that's what the eyedropper tool helps you to do. For these other ones, they are not pure black. So I'll also pick these colors. I'll select the material, go over to color selection, use my eyedropper tool, and I'll pick this. So it has changed. I think this is too light. Let me pick a darker shade. All right, that's perfect. So to do for this order, so I don't need to continue. I'll just, while selecting this one, I'll come over to selection color, press Ctrl C to copy the color code. Just do your design like that. I'm selecting both of them by highlighting, click and drag over it. That's how you select items. I'll come here, I'll paste that color code, press enter. It has changed. When you are doing your assignment, even if it means you pausing the video to do pause and watch like that, it makes sense. That's not bad. Another thing you need to notice here is that this home has a rectangle behind it, right? Let's quickly create that. I'll go to my rectangle tool, click on it, shape tool. Just come over here to my main to the image and draw something like this. Yeah, if I come over here, it's set to 67 by 33. I want to keep it round figure. I'll select 60 and 40. No, 30. 30 is fine. Or let me make it 34. Even number. Okay, let's do 68. I think 68 will work better because I'm trying to make mine exactly like what we have there. So let's continue. We're wrapping up shortly. I'll bring this one like that. It's behind it. How do I bring it forward? I'll right click. Can you see bring to front? This is the short key. If you press this key on your keyboard, it will bring it to front. So I've just done that. I'll select my rectangle, click on my fill tool, eyedropper tool, then select this color. I've just done that. You see we're making progress, right? Next thing I have to do, I will click and drag over both of them, then press Shift A. Shift A is called auto layout. Auto layout, right? So auto layout is like grouping two elements together in a responsive way. You understand? So use Shift A, Shift plus A for auto layout. So the corner radius is curved. So I'll come over to my control panel. It's currently set to 0. I'll give it like 40. You see what just happened, right? If you are following, type I'm following. If you are following, type I'm following. I need to be sure we are together on this call. I need to be sure. UI design is a bit technical, but trust me, it's rewarding. When you know this skill and start working for foreign companies, if your life does not change, come and meet me. All right, I see you guys are following. Let's continue. So that's for that. So our take note of my measurement too. The width is 68 and the height is 34, right? Let me find out something. If I bring this here, sometimes I just bring it close so that I'll see if it's gonna lap. Okay, I think it's lapping perfectly. So let's continue. So I can name this frame home, HOME, or not a home icon, ICON, home icon. I will duplicate the frame by holding alternate on my keyboard. Then I'll copy this other one. I'll select this guy. Just copy it, Control C. Select the home. That's this home guy. I'm selecting the icon. I'll right click, paste to replace. I've replaced it. Notice that this guy does not have the blue icon, right? Sorry, the blue rectangle behind it. So what I'm going to do is that I would let me duplicate it first before I do what I want to do. I'll select this other one, the saved. I'll do Control C. I'll select the, what's it called? Yeah, the search. I'll right click, paste to replace. I've replaced it. I'll duplicate this again. Alternate on your keyboard is for duplicating. I'll select notification, press Control C to copy. Select this other one, right click, paste to replace. I've replaced that. So notice that they don't have the blue rectangle. So I'll just click on them, on the blue rectangle, come over to my fill color and click on minus to take it out. The rectangle is there, but there's no fill, there's no outline. If I add a stroke, which is the outline, you can see the stroke, right? But I don't need it. So I'll also minus it to remove. You click on minus to remove, plus to add. I'll do same for this guy. Click on minus to remove the fill. Click on minus. Then I'll rename it. This is, the first one is home, the second one is search. I'll just put search icon, SEARCHICON. It's good to learn to name your elements, but if you can't name them too, it's not a problem. SAV, saved icon. You double click to rename, like double click on that text. Then this is notification, NOTIFICATION icon. All right, next thing I want to do is notice that the home is under the icon, right? So I'll bring my home this way. Remember, it's font 12. Oh. It's currently set to regular. I'll keep it as you can change the weight from regular to maybe semi-bold. I'll just bring it under there. Let me select all of these and take them away from here. Okay, no. Just these three. You click and drag over it. Then your move tool will help you move it to another position. So I have that. I'll bring my search icon like that. Take my search. Remember, the search and the icon, they have the same color, right? So I'll just select the icon like that. Come over to the color. Select it, Control C to copy it. Then I'll just hover on these three like that to select all of them. Come over to the fill color. I have that color code copy. I'll paste it, 5A, 5A, 5A. Enter. I have that. So I'll just align them like that. So we're rounding up already. I should be out of your way shortly. So I'll bring the search here like that. Then I'll click on the home. I need this blue color. I'll select the blue icon, come over here, copy the color, Control C, select the home. It's white. I'll paste it here, press enter. I have that blue color. So next thing I want to do is I want to group this icon and the text together. I'll select both of them by clicking and dragging over it. Press Shift A. Shift A is auto layout. If you come over to the control panel, you see it, auto layout, auto layout. So the spacing between this home icon and the text is 9. Let me set it to 8 because I want it to be even number. I'll do the same thing here. I'll select and drag over both of them, press Shift A. Then I'll come over. This one is set to 4. I'll keep it at 8. So all of them will be the same thing. Then where is my saved? I'll bring my saved icon. Remember, they had the fill color before, but I took it out. I'll just bring it under it like that. click and drag over both of them, press Shift A to group. I'll come here, set to 3, I'll keep it at 8, press enter. Finally, for the notification, I'll do the same thing. So these are our first projects, like our first design in the practical class. Shift A, I'll come to my control panel. See, the spacing between item is 5. I'll set it to 8 again. So I've been able to set all of them the same way. So I can now call this notification. Let me just call it NOTIF. I see it here. The former one was notification icon. I added icon because I was only grouping the icon. This is saved. This is search. Double click to rename, SEARCH. And this is home. So at this point, I'll move this like that, bring the search next to it. When you see this red line, it means they are on the same line. Bring the saved like that, then bring the notification. Be careful when you are moving the item so you don't take it out of the frame. So I'll select and hold, drag over all of them, press Shift A. I've been using Shift A to group my element. If you have noticed, I've been using Shift A. So let me now take this to my frame. I'll just click and drag. For that person that mentioned navigation bar, I can now name this component. Remember, component is a combination. This is navigation bar. All right, so let's get in. I'll drag it inside like that. Notice that is getting to the edge of my screen. I want that space. That's how I created the margin. How do I fix that? I will come over here. The spacing between items is currently set to 38. That's this part here you're seeing like this. I'll set it to auto, AUTO. The reason I'm setting to auto is so that if I reduce this, all spacing will be equal. That's what auto does. But I'm not necessarily going to reduce it. I'll just set it to auto, then come over to this place that is showing 0. It's called padding. I'll give it 16. Remember, we set it to 16 when we're putting our margin. See that it has lapped, right? I'll give this other part 16 also, so that it will be big enough. Then I'll fill it to white. See the fill color? That's the entire navigation bar. If I press white, you can see it as, let me take it out so you see it properly. See that we have our white nav bar. The padding is 16 up and down and on both sides with auto layout. Auto layout, I'm emphasizing. If you don't put auto layout, you can't set all of those stuff. Let me quickly take question before I give you assignment for today. I'll bring it back inside the frame. Remember, this first one was just to map out the area, right? It has finished doing its work. So I'll click on it and delete it. Then I'll bring this guy down. No. I'll just drag it down like that. When you see this red line, it means it's sitting on the other one. So we've done our navigation bar. If you have questions, you can ask. I'm wrapping up now. We've done our navigation bar, right? We've done our navigation bar. So your assignments, before I give you assignment, if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you've not subscribed, somebody is asking for the color code. Use your eyedropper tool to pick the color code. Use your eye. So if I get a shape like this now, for instance, and I draw, you don't need to cram color code on in your head. Rather, the only color code I know is black and white. Black is 000 into 6 places. White is FFF into 6 places, right? So other code, I know D9, that's gray. So if I click on this fill color and I get my eyedropper tool, which is this one, I'll just go to any color I want, select it. I've just done that. You can see it. So if I duplicate this like that and I want to pick the second color, it's going to set to blend. Ensure you select what you want to fill. Don't click outside. Click what you want to change the color. Come over here, select the eyedropper tool. I want to take the second color. I've done that. Once you click on it, you have the color. So that's how you get your color code. So your assignment is to take a screenshot of your Google screen, send it to your WhatsApp, connect your WhatsApp to your laptop, so you can have already done all of those display, right? Once you're able to bring it to your Figma file, you design your navigation bar. In our next class, that will be on Thursday, because of your assignment now, we'll be having 1 day break so that there will be no excuse. Use tomorrow to do your assignment. You can do it this night, you can do it tomorrow, but deadline is 6 p.m. tomorrow. Yes, that reminds me. Once you are done with your assignment, this is how you should share your assignment with me. You need to share your assignment on the group. I'm going to place something on the group for you to reply. Once you don't send it as a DM to me, please reply the message inside the WhatsApp group, right? And submit your link. What you want to do to submit your assignment is, once you are done designing, you've named your file. Ensure you name your file. You can name it Busola Design, Mohammed Design, whatever your name is, name it like that. Come over to this share. See this share button, right? Once you are done designing, click on share. See copy link. When you click on copy link, anyone with the link can view. So you will drop this link. Once I click on it, you see that it's showing link is copied. You go over to the WhatsApp group and drop the link there. You can put your name and the link, or you drop only the link. I will go through everybody's assignment, and I'm going to leave a comment to show that I've gone through it, right? So your assignment is to design your navigation bar. It's not going to be too much, right? Design your navigation bar, submit it before 5 p.m. tomorrow, so that I can take my time to review it before our next class, right? If you submit late, I won't review your assignment. So that will be all for now. If you have any other question, you may want to find a way and reach out to me. I don't know. But thank you very much for staying to the end. You guys are amazing. Your design changed my life. I want you to change yours too. That's why I'm holding this 2 weeks class. Take it like your life depends on it. I recently got certified by Google. We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about it's big money. So we'll talk about this later. But now that you are starting your journey, take it like your life depends on it. Take it like your next level depends on it. And I'll see you in the next class. Bye.